Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Panchashanta Deshtarini Vancha Kalpatarvesya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I am feeling very honored and happy to come here at ISKCON Farmington Hills, Sri Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabha Temple. Thank you everybody for being present here for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Bhagavatam explains, Yasyavai Shruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Utpadade Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha. We see in this world people are suffering. Why? Mostly because of Shoka, Moha and Bhaya. Shoka, lamenting about the past. Moha, being illusion in the present. Not being in touch with reality. And Bhaya, being fearful about future. People are always struggling. However, Yasavai Shriyamana, just by hearing Krishna Katha daily, Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Rutpadate. So when we hear Krishna Katha, Bhakti for Param Purush, Krishna is awakened in heart. And when Bhakti is awakened, then Shoka Moha Bhayapa. The way to become free from all miseries of life is not to work hard and earn more and more money. Is that the way? Ways to hear daily Srimad Bhagavatam class. Not by money we can be free from Shoka, Moha and Bhaya. Rather, just by running madly after money, one can be filled with Shoka, Moha and Bhaya. But by hearing Krishna Katha, all this Shoka, Moha and Bhaya can be gone and we can become peaceful. We can become happy. Therefore, one should be always eager to hear Krishna Katha in association of devotees. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada started this daily program of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing in association of devotees. Tulyan lavinapi na swargam na punarbhavam. Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya Martyanam ki Bhutasham. Association of devotees is much more valuable than even going to heavenly planets or even liberation. Why? Because in association of devotees, there is Krishna Katha. When devotees come together, Machita, Madagata, Prana, Bodhayanta, Parasparam. Tushyanti Charamanti Char. Kathayante Shamam Nityam, Tushyanti Char. When devotees come together, they discuss Krishna Katha. And that Krishna Katha, devotees find great pleasure and satisfaction. And in that way, they don't live in this material world filled with anxieties and misery. They live in Vaikuntha. Whenever there is Krishna Katha, Prachadas in their prayers to Lord, they explain, Yathandrante Katha Mrishtas Trishnaya Prasanno Yatha Nirvairam Yatha Bhuteshu Nadu Dvega Yatra Kashana. Whenever there is Krishna Katha, wherever there is Krishna Katha, immediately Trishnaya Prasanno Yatha. Trishna, the material hankerings, the material desires which are torturing us from within, they are extinguished, they are subsided. And nirvairam, the envy that keeps on, disturbing us, that at least during Krishna Katha, that goes away. And no dvega, that anxiety and fear and that all sufferings get, one becomes free from all that. So, so all of you are very intelligent. You have come to temple to hear Krishna Katha. This is the simplest and most profound way to become peaceful and happy in life. And all other ways are secondary ways, if at all they are, to become peaceful and happy. Most of the ways are, they add to our shokam ho bhaya. Uh, but this is simplest and profound way. And all of you are so intelligent that you have come to temple to have this opportunity. This is the greatest benediction of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada came here not to just build buildings and not to just create some infrastructure. He came here to distribute this message. Prabhupada worked so hard when he was in India to publish these first three cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3 volumes. And when he was able to print it, he was so confident. He said, now I can go to West. And when he reached Boston, he wrote that poem. And that poem is, he felt, oh, where I have come to this terrible place. But then he said, oh, if these people hear the message of Bhagavatam, if this message of Bhagavatam goes in their hearts, they will be transformed. They will become happy. So his confidence was in this message of Bhagavatam. His confidence was in holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So anybody who takes to this, hears this message, he can be purified, he can be uplifted, he can be happy, he can experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness. That. Today morning I was hearing announcement that we are trying to renovate temple. We are some devotees were telling we are trying to get bigger temple. How many of you want a bigger temple or beautiful temple or renovation of this temple residence? So one time his own Ratna Swami was telling, unless we use every inch of the temple, we won't give more space. I say this space, so much space is there. Why we need a bigger temple? If we want to attend on Zoom classes, Krishna may give us hard disk, laptop, mobile. Why there is need of temple? Do we need temple? Temple is required if devotees want to come together, chant and dance together, and experience Vaikuntha. So, this material world is very powerful. Maya is very powerful. Maya is very expert in creating illusion. And sometimes illusions can happen in form of, online. Some people think, oh, I'm in temple only. Yes, we can attend online. Wonderful. Instead of attending online, some other things. But actually, if you want temple, you have to come to temple. Otherwise, there's no need of temple for once a week. It is such a, it may not be a right investment. If people come once a week only for 2 hours, can we invest millions of dollars for that? We can just hire some place once a week for 2 hours. Temple is required when, like we say, Rupa Goswami built Radha Govind temple. 5,000 devotees were serving, always morning till evening. Now, when thousands of devotees are there serving, then you need a big place. Otherwise, this place is sufficient. So, so as and when we need anything, Krishna is very expert in giving us more than what we deserve, more than what we want. So, so this is a blessing of Krishna. Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given us the process by which we can experience Vaikuntha. So when one comes in association, devotees hear Krishna Katha, serve Krishna, one can experience Vaikuntha. Naham tishtami Vaikunte, yoginam hrideshu, yatra gayanti mad bhakta, tatra tishtami. Where devotees come together, discuss Krishna Katha. That is Vaikuntha. Yes, definitely. Our homes also can be Vaikuntha. At home also we discuss Krishna Katha. So here we see the verse. This verse is a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna meets Sudama and then so much so happy. And then while he's going back home, he's remembering, oh, how wonderful is Krishna. I'm such a fallen person, sinful person. And Krishna is Sri Niketana, husband of God's fortune. So though I'm so unqualified, but still Krishna embraced me. What a merciful thought. So we see this beautiful pastime between Krishna and Sudama's meeting. Similar stories there in Mahabharata about Drona and Drupada. Like Krishna and Sudama were childhood friends in Gurukul, and later on they met after a long time. Similarly, Drona and Drupada, they were also childhood friends in Gurukul. They studied together. And later on, Drupad graduated from Gurukul. Later on, he became a great king. Drona graduated from Gurukul, and then, but he remained a very poor Brahmana. And his poverty was so much that practically he was not able to take care of his wife and son. And when wife saw the very precarious condition, she requested Drona that, oh, your Drupad is your friend, he's king. Why don't you go and meet him? And we see Dronacharya went to court of Drupada. And when he came, then Dronacharya introduced him. Oh, Drupad, do you remember? I'm your friend from Gurukul. We studied in the same Gurukul. And I have come here. And when Drupad heard that Dronacharya was calling himself as friend of, him, Drupad felt embarrassed. Drupad was feeling, what is this? He is a poor fellow, and I'm such a rich fellow. And he said, actually, friendship can be made between only equals. He said, oh, Drona, you're a poor beggar, and I'm a king. How there can be friendship? But anyway, if you want charity, I will give you charity. But don't call me as friend. Friendship is made between two equals. So when Drupad said like that, Drona felt so humiliated. He became so angry, oh, so upset. And he developed that great desire to show and teach good lesson to Drupad. So when he left from there, later on it so happened he met Bhishma. Later on he became a great martial teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas, and he trained them very nicely. And after their education of Pandavas and Kauravas was done, they approached Dronacharya. How can we serve you? What Guru Dakshina can we give you? And Dronacharya said, oh, you want to give me the Guru Dakshina? He said, you should go and defeat Drupad and bring him captive and make him fell at my feet. So all Kauravas headed by Duryodhana went. They attacked Drupad kingdom, but somehow they were defeated. They couldn't bring Drupad captive. Then later on Pandavas went. And when Pandavas fought, they actually defeated Drupad and brought him captive and threw him at the feet of uh, Dronacharya. And when Dronacharya saw him, he was very happy. And Dronacharya said, my dear Drupad, friendship are made only between equals. Now I'm a king, possessor of all kingdom. And you are a beggar. But he said, I want your friendship. So I give 50% of this kingdom to you. 50% I will take. So that we can be equals and we can be friends. Do you think Drupad would be happy with this? After that, this Drupad became so angry, upset. He took half kingdom, went, but he was not happy. He thought, I will teach him a good lesson. What does Dronacharya think himself to be? And then he performed such intense tapasyas. And he pleased Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva was pleased, asked what benediction he want. He said, I want a son who will kill Dronacharya. And then he was asked to do yajna, and from yajna came this Dushtadumna, and also came Draupadi. So Dushtadumna was born to kill Dharma. And later on we see in battlefield of Kurukshetra, Dushtadumna cut off the head of Drona. So we see these friends, Drupad and Drona were friends, but because in Gurukul, but then they ended up becoming worst enemies. So this difference between friendship sometimes with materialistic attitudes, materialist consciousness, materialistic people. But we can see same dealings, same situation between Krishna and Sudama. Sudama and Krishna were studying same Gurukul of Santipani Muni. And they graduated Krishna went to Mathura, then went to Dwarka, and he was like a big king in Dwarka, living in wonderful palaces. And Sudama became a poor Brahmana. He also was, he got married, but he was so poor he couldn't maintain his wife and children. And mm, he was, apparently, his family was struggling in poverty. Acharyas explained, asked wonderful question. They said, "Arey, Sudama was a great devotee. How can devotee suffer in poverty? Can devotee suffer in poverty? Anybody that does dharma, byproduct of dharma is artha, prosperity. Nobody suffers if he does dharma." But Acharya explained, actually, there are two types of devotees. One type of devotees, one who is if indifferent to material things. He is neither attached nor averse to material wealth. But there is another class of devotee who are averse to material wealth. They want to live in extreme poverty because they are afraid that wealth and power may intoxicate them, distract them in bhakti. So they want to be in poverty. So Acharya explained, actually, Sudama was that kind of devotee. He was averse to material wealth. And therefore, he was in poverty. Not because Krishna did not give him. Uh, Supreme Lord is always ready to give. Like Prahlad Maharaj, Supreme Lord gave him so much wealth. Dhruva Maharaj, Lord gave him so much wealth. So for devotees, Lord can give unlimited wealth. But for some devotees who are averse to material wealth, he may not give them wealth because he doesn't want to make them uncomfortable. Because they want to live in poverty. So Krishna, yeah, they respect us accordingly. So therefore Sudama was actually poor. And he was happy to be poor. He had no issues. But his wife and children, they were all struggling. Especially wife was unhappy because and wife was not unhappy for herself, but she was unhappy to see husband and children suffering. So she requested that you're friends with Krishna, and Krishna is so favorably disposed to Brahmanas. Why don't you go to mm, Dwarka? And surely Krishna will give some charity, and all our challenges, poverty, and everything will be gone. And Sudama didn't want to go, but then when wife requested repeatedly, finally he thought, oh, actually this is a good excuse. For a long time I have not gone and met Krishna. Maybe I can go and meet Krishna. So I had no intention to ask for wealth, but he thought that maybe by just going, I can satisfy my wife also, and I can also get opportunity to have darshan of Krishna. Mm. And when we see that, when Sudama left, he was walking, and then he was thinking, before going, he asked his wife, is there any gift I can take for Krishna? So wife searched in their home, there was nothing. So she went in the neighboring house, begged for some charity, and she got some chipped rice. And she gave, tied it in some broken pieces of cloth, and then he carried it. And while he was going, he was thinking, oh, if I go to Dwarka, will I get entrance in Dwarka? Because there will be great security. Will security allow me inside now? And he was thinking. So when he came near Dwarka, he was little bit waited outside Dwarka. And when he saw one aristocratic Brahmanas, group of, they were entering Dwarka, he also joined them. And along with them, he entered. And when he came near the palace of Rukmini, actually Krishna saw. Krishna immediately came running. And Krishna was so happy. He just came running and embraced Sudama, and then took him inside palace. And he made him sit on the asan, and then he himself started washing his feet. He himself started doing arati. And Mother Rukmini, she started doing chamar. And all the residents, all the servants, maid servants, they were wondering, hey, who's this poor man? Krishna is washing his feet. Rukmini is, no, goddess of fortune. She is fanning. He must be really something special. But he's looking so thin and lean. And he seems to be very poverty stricken. But he must be very fortunate person, great soul. And after, Krishna offered him nice drinks and nice prasad and everything. And when he was nicely rested, then Krishna and Sudama started discussing. Mm, mm. Tadati pratakunnati guhyamankati pruchiti bhungte bojteva sharbir priti lakshana. Giving gifts, receiving gifts, talking confidentially. So they started discussing. Krishna Sudama. Krishna started thinking, oh, Sudama, do you remember our Gurukul days? How we spent time together in house of Sandipani Muni? And then they were remembering all wonderful pastimes they did together. And then Krishna said, do you remember? One time our Guru Patni, she asked us to bring some dried wood from the forest for the sacrifice. So we went there. But all of a sudden there was, unseasonal storms and rains and lightning. And we get caught up in the forest and practically got lost because of so much storm and rains. It got flooded in the forest. We lost the way also, and then later on it became dark. And our teacher Sandipan Muni was so concerned about us. And then early morning he left with students and came searching for us, and he found us in the forest. Mm. And then he was so pleased and he blessed us. Do you remember how he blessed? Sandipani Muni blessed Sudama and Krishna. That may you always remember whatever you learned from me, whatever you learned in Gurukul, may you always remember that. And especially the purpose and meaning, may that be ever fresh in your hearts. So we see, when we please spiritual master, we get his heartfelt blessings, which lead to perfection of life. But if we displease spiritual master, then we can't achieve perfection life. We see Karna, other hand, he was also taking care of studying with Parshuram. And instead of getting blessings, he got curse. We saw he was serving very nicely Parshuram. One day, Parshuram was tired, so he was sleeping on lap of Parshuram. So Parshuram was sleeping on lap of Karna. And one huge, very dangerous scorpion came and bit him, and blood started coming. But he did not move his lap because he was thinking, if I move, Parshuram's sleep will get disturbed. And how I can disturb Parshuram's sleep? I want him to sleep peacefully. So he tolerated, and blood started coming. And because of the smell of the blood, actually, Parshuram got up. And he saw that scorpion biting and the blood coming, and Karna was, tolerating it. Immediately, Parshuram became very angry because he understood this person, Karna, is not a Brahmana. He is Kshatriya. Because no Brahmana can tolerate so much physical pain. They can tolerate mental pain. Immediately he said, Karna, please tell me, who are you? When I was taking your interview, joining admission interview, that time I asked you, who are you? You said you are Brahmana. But no Brahmana can tolerate so much pain, physical pain. The fact that you are able to tolerate, that means you cannot be Brahmana. Mm. Then immediately Karna became this thing. He said, please, Parshuram, please forgive me. I spoke lies to you. Parshuram had, killed 21 generations of Kshatriya because he knew the Kshatriyas are puffed up, proud. He didn't want to train them, And therefore he wanted only to train Brahmanas. And he saw, he learned all education from me, but he's not a Brahmana. And he was so angry. And then he cursed him. He said, whatever you have learned from me in Gurukul, when you need the most, you will forget it. The mantras and all these things you will forget. Therefore, we see on battlefield Kurukshetra, when he was fighting with Arjuna, he forgot the mantras. So he couldn't invoke the weapons and all this thing. And when he was not able to even pull up the chariot and all this thing, and. So here we see, when you serve Guru and please Guru humbly, menially, then you can get blessings like Sudama and Krishna served and pleased their Guru. Whereas Karna, because he displeased Guru by telling lies. by cheating Guru. Therefore, he was cursed by Parshuram. So here we see that, So they were discussing like this, Krishna and Sudama, and they were relishing their childhood memories. After that, uh, nice prasad, and after that, Sudama took rest. And he was taking rest. He was feeling, oh, I'm just in Vaikuntha. He was so blissful. Mhm. Mm. And before that, actually, Krishna asked Sudama, oh, Sudama, did you bring some gift for me? Sudama had brought that chipped rice, but then Sudama felt so embarrassed, seeing so much opulence. Krishna's palace made of gold and everything so opulent. He was thinking, how can I give this chipped rice? They're not worth giving. But then Krishna snatched away, and Krishna ate one morsel of uh, chipped rice, and Krishna was so happy. And Krishna wanted to eat another morsel. Then Rukmini stopped Krishna from eating a morsel. Acharya has explained that Rukmini was looking at her maidservants, telling, "Oh, if Krishna eats this, maybe he'll have stomach problem. How can I allow him to eat and have stomach problem?" And she told Krishna, "Oh, Krishna, you see, you are enjoying this nice feast, nice prasad. I'm sure now after that, all the co-wives and maid servants and servants, everybody will come to me and they will ask some prasad, Mahaprasad of you. If you eat everything, what will I distribute to everybody? So please, now you ate little, keep little other everything, keep with us. I will distribute and we'll share and we'll enjoy this Mahaprasad." And another Acharya explains that Rukmini was concerned. Rukmini was thinking, one morsel Krishna accepted from Sudama, that is sufficient to give him and make Sudama supremely opulent. But if he takes second morsel, maybe I will have to become his maid servant, no? Because, So she tried to stop Krishna from eating another morsel. But anyway, Krishna was very happy. Sudama was also very happy. And then Sudama took rest in night. And then he was feeling, oh, I'm just in Vaikuntha. Next day morning, he got up after his morning duties. And then he saw Krishna and bade farewell to Krishna. He started walking back to his home. And he did not uh, ask Krishna anything. His wife had told him to ask for some charity, but he did not ask. And while going, he was thinking like this, go home. He was thinking, while going, though Krishna did not give him anything, he was very happy. He was thinking, oh, Krishna is so kind. Though I'm such a sinful rascal, Krishna is so great, but he embraced me. And just by that embrace, and he was remembering that embrace, I was so very happy. And he was thinking, oh, Krishna is so kind. Uh, Though I did not ask him wealth, I did not ask him charity, but Krishna is super soul in everybody's heart. He knows why I have come, why my wife has sent me. But knowing why I have come, why my wife has sent me, he did not give me wealth. Krishna is so kind. He said, Adonam yam dhanam prapya madhyan ucher namam smarit iti karuniko nunam dhanam me bhurina dadat. He said, oh, Krishna is so kind. Krishna must have thought, Adhanoyam dhanam prapya. This Sudama is poverty stricken Brahmana. If he gets dhanam prapya, he gets wealth all of a sudden. Madhyan ucher namam smarit. Maybe he'll get intoxicated. And if he gets intoxicated by material, maybe he will not be able to remember me. He may not be able to do devotion. So thinking like that, Krishna did not give me any wealth. Iti karunika. This is his mercy. Krishna is so wonderful. He did not give me wealth because he wanted to protect my Krishna consciousness. Because he thought, maybe if I get too much wealth, I will get intoxicated. So wonderful. Thank you very much. So he was very grateful that Krishna did not give him wealth. Yeah. We see materialistic people, they come to temple, they ask for Krishna wealth. And if Krishna gives wealth, they are very happy. And Krishna doesn't give wealth, they become very unhappy. They will criticize, what kind of God are you? What kind of, they will criticize this. But here we see attitude of a devotee. Devotee knows Krishna is my best well-wisher. Whatever he does, good for me. He's giving wealth, wonderful, and he's not giving wealth, all the more wonderful. Maybe that is good for me. Because Krishna is very compassionate. Whatever we need, Krishna will give. So in this way, he was thinking, and thinking like that, he came to his home back. And when he came to home back, he was surprised. He couldn't recognize. That area was so effulgent, and so bright, and shining. He was wondering where I have come. And then he looked. He saw there were palaces everywhere. I was thinking, "Arey, maybe wrong address, no? Maybe I came to wrong place." But then he understood that there were so many servant maids and they came approaching him, offering respects. And they said, "Hey, this is your place. This is your palace." He was wondering how I had a kutir, how this palace came. Then he understood in his heart of heart that maybe this is Krishna's mercy. And then immediately from home came his wife, who was beautifully dressed. Not only beautiful dressed, she had become extremely beautiful also. Night before, his wife and children slept. They were sleeping in that poverty-stricken home, thatched hut. They were so thin and slim because of no proper nourishment and food. Mm. All torn clothes. Mm. So wife and children were in that condition. They slept. But when they got up, mm, wife was surprised to see a big palace. And when she looked at herself, she was surprised. She had become so healthy and beautiful, like a demigoddesses, like Apsara. And children were also became so beautiful, healthy, and adorned with such beautiful dresses and ornaments. Immediately she understood, maybe this is Krishna's mercy, because she knew my husband has gone. Maybe this Krishna has blessed him. That's why, So she was very happy and she was preparing all the morning to receive her husband. And when she saw that he has come, she immediately came out to welcome. By that time, actually, Sudama was like that only. He was like very thin and lean and with torn clothes, like a poor Brahmana. So Acharyas explained that Krishna did not transform him earlier because if he had come transform, wife would be confused whether he is same person or not. So it is said that in front of everyone, Sudama got transformed. Sudama was lean and thin, weak. He became beautiful and healthy and is adorned with such beautiful jewelry and wonderful dress. And and immediately wife invited him inside home. And Sudama was, thinking, oh, Krishna is so kind. I gave him just broken pieces of uh, flat rice. Wow. And Krishna has given so much. Hmm. Kinchit karote or api yat swadaktam surdam kritam falgo api huri kari. So Krishna, whatever he, even if somebody gives little, Krishna considers that he has given a great gift. So even small service done by devotees, Krishna magnifies that service. And big blessings also, whatever Krishna gives, Krishna considers that he has not done enough. So this is the attitude of Krishna. Little service of devotees also he magnifies. And no matter how big blessings he gives, he doesn't consider that he has done any real thing to his devotee. He feels, I have not done much. Also, Acharya has explained here that why did Krishna not give Sudama wealth in his own hand and inform that, okay, I am doing this. Now you go at home, you will see that your home is transformed to palace. Now he did not tell anything. And he did not give also. So Acharya explained why he did not do that. So Acharya explained because Krishna has promised. What is promise? Ye yatha mam padpatante. However devotees serve him, accordingly he respects. If devotees give 10% of their wealth, Krishna gives 10% of his wealth. Hmm? Uh, so here but here he saw Sudama, what did he do? Sudama had nothing. He went and begged from his neighbor and he brought cheap dress and gave to Krishna. So how much did he give? More than 100%, isn't it? So Sudama gave more than 100%. So Krishna was thinking, I also have to give him more than 100. But he was saying, how can I give more than 100%? Because whatever is there in material and spiritual is 100%. And whatever he has is 100%. And that is what is there in entire existence. So he thought that I cannot give more than 100% because more than 100% doesn't exist. But I am supposed to give more than 100% because he has given more than 100%. But because he's not able to give more than 100%, he felt embarrassed. Like I said, Krishna felt ashamed that I'm defeated by my devotee. He's so great lover. He has so much love for me. But I am not able to reciprocate. So it said Krishna felt embarrassed, so he did not give anything. And he indirectly gave. Sometimes somebody gives us gift. If you have equal gift, we can happily give. We can look in his face and give. We look in eyes, receive and give also because equal kind of gift. But if somebody has given a great gift and we don't have appropriate gift, we feel very embarrassed. So Krishna was feeling like that. So he indirectly gave him this wealth. So this is actually attitude of Krishna. And so later on, Sudama, though he received such great wealth and great this thing, Sudama did not give them, become puffed up or proud. Rather, he became deeply grateful to Krishna. And here it is, Bhagavatam said, Tasyeva me saurud sakya maitri tasyam punarjanmani janmani syad mahanubhavena gunalayena visajyatastat purusha prasanga. So Sudama is saying, oh my dear Lord, you are so compassionate. You are reserved of all wonderful qualities. Life after life, janmani janmani. May I serve you with saurudya, sakya, maitri, dasyam. So he said, may I serve you with saurudya, with love and affection, with sakya, friendship, maitri, and dasyam, with humble attitude. And may I be able to serve in this way by cultivating, by having association of your sincerity. Sudama also, though he is a friend of Krishna, he also knows that if I really want to develop a deeper attachment to Krishna, I cannot do it directly by associating with Krishna. I need association of his devotees. So he's praying for association of devotees. That in association devotees, I can develop more attachment to Krishna and serve Krishna even more sincerely. So it was not that he was thinking, oh, I got wealth now, wonderful. Let now forget Krishna. No. Materialistic people, when they get what they want, they forget God. And when they don't get what they want, they remember God. And if they don't get stuff, even after praying, they become angry with God. But here we see great devotees. First of all, they may not hanker for material thing. And even if Krishna gives, they become more grateful and they become more committed and determined in service of Krishna. So in this way, Bhagavatam explains how Sudama became very whole life, though he was very opulent, but he always remembered Krishna, served Krishna, and performed his devotional service. And at the end of life, then he went to spiritual world, Golok, Vaikuntha, or the spiritual world, kingdom of God. Another Shiji Goswami writes that actually, why Krishna gave Sudama lot of wealth. Another perspective explain that. And he said that because Sudama was averse to wealth, attachment and aversion, both are material. And if you are attached or averse to anything material, then you don't become qualified to go to kingdom. You have to become free from attachment and aversion to material things. So by giving him lot of wealth, uh, uh, before that actually, just it is Jiva Goswami said that when Sudama came to Dwarka and he saw so much of wealth, he was amazed. But at the same time, he saw Krishna is not attached to any wealth and he's just humbly serving him. He washed his feet, served him, so affectionate, dealt with him. That Krishna's sweet dealings removed the pride which he had about his poverty. He said then there was this small anartha in Sudama's heart that he was averse to wealth and he was proud also of that. So the pride of being poor. Sometimes one can be proud of being rich. Sometimes one can be proud of being poor. So that pride of his poverty was smashed by Krishna's loving dealings. So Krishna is so rich and opulent and still is so humble and so loving. So actually he immediately felt humbled. And whatever that pride was there and aversion was that for the wealth went away. And that way Slam was purified and then he became qualified to come back to God. We see this similar verse, Kwaham Darpapiyam, that also comes in Chaitanya Chaitamrit. When Lord Chaitanya went to South India, when he was in Kurmashetra, Kurma Brahmana's house, after delivering Kurma Brahmana, one leper, Vasudev, he came. And when he came, he saw Lord Chaitanya left. And he became so unbearably unhappy. And he just fainted. He became unconscious. He wanted so desperately to meet Lord Chaitanya, but Lord Chaitanya left. Because he was so desperate, Lord Chaitanya, though he had already gone, he again manifested himself. And he came and embraced this Brahmana, leper, Vasudev. And as soon as he embraced this Vasudev leper, leprosy of Vasudev went away and he became so beautiful. So it is said that when he became beautiful, imagine you have some terrible disease like leprosy and Supreme Lord comes and embraces you and you become extremely beautiful, effulgent like Lord Chaitanya. No? How will you feel? Hmm? How will you feel? Huh? Happy. How many will feel miserable? How many will feel happy? So, but this Vasudev leper, he became very concerned. He became very afraid. And he said, my Lord Chaitanya, earlier I was filled with this leprosy. Even most sinful people would not come near me because of this leprosy. But now you have blessed me. Now I got this beautiful body. Whole world will glorify me. And that will make me proud. And I am feeling very concerned about that. So Lord Chaitanya said, no, don't worry. And he said, you just chant Hare Krishna always and preach the message of Krishna. So that will free you from pride. Krishna Updesh Kara Jivera Nistar Achirate Krishna Toma Kariben Angikar. And he said, you chant always Hare Krishna and always share this message of Krishna to others. And Krishna will accept you soon. So Prabhupada writes in purport. Although Vasudeva Vipra was a leper and had suffered greatly, still after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cured him, he instructed him to preach Krishna consciousness. Indeed, the only return the Lord wanted was that Vasudeva preach the instructions of Krishna and liberate all human beings. That is the process of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Each and every member of the society was rescued from a very abominable condition, but now they are engaged in preaching the cult of Krishna consciousness. They are not only cured of the disease called materialism, but are also living a very happy life. Everyone accepts them as great devotees of Krishna, and their qualities are manifest in their very faces. If one wants to be recognized as devotee by Krishna, he should take to preaching work, following the advice of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then one will undoubtedly attain the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Lord Krishna himself, without delay. So Prabhupada saying this is only Krishna expects in return. Krishna showers lots of mercy. And what is Krishna expecting in return? What is Krishna expecting in return? We share this message with others. Devotees asked Prabhupada, you have given so much mercy to us, how we can repay? Prabhupada said, you can never repay spiritual mercy, but we can try to repay by giving to others what we have received. So we have received Krishna consciousness, gift of Krishna consciousness. We can try to share with others. So this is a very nice month coming up, the month of December. Actually, devotee December they go out of their way to distribute Prabhupada books. In that way, share Krishna consciousness others. So normally we always try to do that, but in December, all the work we do that. How many of you feel blessed by Krishna's mercy in your life? So this is what Krishna is expecting from us. If you feel blessed, we should share this blessing with others. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And how many feel we need to have a big, beautiful temple here? Yeah. So we should come daily here, and we should also inspire everybody to come here daily. Maybe in the beginning we can inspire them to join online, and then inspire them to come here. So then, because if everybody comes here, then Krishna will think, oh, maybe I have to give them big temple because this temple is very short. But as long as Radha Gopishna will think, Arey, temple is so much space is there. huh? Though they don't need. Huh? So I remember in Calcutta, practically every time his own Radha Maharaj will come. Every time he will tell some things to renovate, practically. And whenever he talk about new temple, he will also say, first utilize every inch of the temple. And when every inch of temple is utilized, Krishna will give more space. So later on, for many, many years, we got a bigger space. Okay. So I hope that this temple, already I heard there is a great preaching here. All are so many wonderful devotees here. And I'm sure this temple is getting flooded on Saturdays and Sundays. Will get flooded other days also. And soon there will be beautiful manifestation of beautiful palace for Radha Gopishna Vallabha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have a few minutes if anybody has any comments, anything. Uh, Jugal Bishop, you want to correct me anything? Yeah. So, Jugal Bishop was an exemplary leader. I was in Salt Lake City there. I met Govind Dev Prabhu. His uh, he came, he said, I went to Yatra with Jugal Kishore Prabhu. And it was such an ecstatic experience. And he said, whenever I try to glorify him, he doesn't want any glory. He'll run away, and he'll divert the topic. But I want to tell you, actually, it was my one of most memorable experience. The amazing classes he gave and intense kirtans he did in Yatra. It was so uplifting. So all of you are so fortunate that you are having such a wonderful association of Jugal Kishapu. Practically, wherever I go in America, I meet devotees who say I have come in Krishna because of Jugal Kishapu. So, and now you are having Jugal Kishapu here in Farmington Hills. So it's a great good fortune. Okay. If any question is there, only question is when is prasadam and what is there in prasadam? Or prasadam is there or not? No. One way to attract devotees temple is nice prasadam. I see. I went to Pune temple. They have breakfast, lunch, dinner, prasadam free for all devotees. Anybody comes to temple, free. When they started this free prasadam breakfast, so many congregations started coming for morning because they don't have anxiety of cooking, at home. They can come attend Bhagavad, take prasad and go for office. so, so like that. I'm just telling, no, this is one. Prasadam is a very attractive, powerful force and very purifying also. Physical. Brahman can tolerate a lot of mental pain, but physical, he doesn't have strength. That is what Parshuram said. And then he said, hey, I don't, because if any Brahmana would be, he would scream or he would, he would move his legs, but you did not do that. That means you are not a Brahmana. So that's how he recognized Karna to be not a Brahmana. And then he cursed. He said, maybe you cheated me by telling that you are a Brahmana and you learned all of this from me. Yeah. I'm not able to understand your question. Brahmanas are tolerant, yes. Yeah, they voluntarily remain poor. Like if like suppose if even if king gives them kingdom, they will return back to king. Even if they are given like $1 million and they need $100, they will keep $100 and remaining they will give in charity. So they will not hold the money. Whatever then they'll keep others, they will give charity, and they will voluntarily remain poor. Where is contradiction? Brahmanas are voluntarily they remain poor. Huh? Huh? But that pain is different from like gross physical pain. Like imagine you slap a kshatriya, for him it won't be. You slap brahmana, it will be very painful for him. But mental pain, insults, or injustices, or anything goes like he's a rich and immediately becomes bankrupt, so that pains, that brahmana can reverse, that can tolerate very easily. Not necessarily just physical pain. That physical pain shudras can tolerate, or kshatriyas can. Brahmana may not be able to tolerate physical pain, but all other pains, like which are the real pains people are suffering. Imagine all of a sudden there's big loss. Kshatriya or Vaishya may not be able to tolerate, but Brahmana says, okay, Krishna mercy, immediately. Somebody insults. Now other people may not be able to tolerate. Brahmana, okay. He will not take that serious. He won't, because of his higher consciousness, because of his realizations, knowledge, he's able to tolerate. But physical pain, other people are able to tolerate more. Yes, Prabhu. Especially insults, they cannot tolerate. No? They need to be honored and respected. If they are disrespected, they will be, furious. They may tolerate physical honor, disrespect, they will not tolerate. Like Krishna explains, for a person who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. So for Kshatriyas, dishonor is worse than death. But for Brahmanas, doesn't matter. Dishonor, no problem. Okay, yes.
So, G, what is the connection of inferiority complex with false pride? Like at what point the inferiority complex within a person turns into that false pride attitude?
Superiority complex, inferiority complex. Both are two sides of same coin, false ego. Mm. So sometimes we feel proud, we think, oh, I'm better than other, and then we see somebody else better, we think, oh, I'm inferior. So it becomes inferiority complex. But true, so there's a false ego. True ego is Jivara Sabha Krishna. I'm surrender Krishna. Krishna is great, and I'm fortunate to serve such great Krishna. And if he doesn't get puffed up in victory, and he doesn't become uh, miserable or depressed in loss, we understand ultimately only Supreme Lord is always victorious. Sometimes for others, sometimes victory, sometimes defeat. Because of false ego, one gets puffed up in victory and one becomes depressed in loss. But devotee is neither puffed up nor depressed, because he knows ultimately victory and loss is added by Krishna. Krishna is my best well wisher. Krishna is Supreme Lord, my best wisher. So whatever Krishna is arranging is good for me. And maybe Krishna is trying to teach me some lesson. Let me learn and move ahead in life. Not getting bewildered by superiority complex or inferiority complex. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare. Online devotees ki jai. And please forgive me, online devotees, if I have anything. I have no intention to. We are grateful in spite of your jobs, busy schedules, for joining online. Okay? And please bless me.